Hello! Always feels weird starting on live streams and everything. First of all, hi, my name's John. I always start off like this. I pretty much introduce myself to everyone who already know. If you're watching this now, leave me a comment in the description below. Or say here or something in the comments below. Just let me know if everything's working. I know there's about a 20-second delay. So I'll just talk a little bit about myself. My name is John. I'm a recording engineer and producer based in South Wales. I work mainly out of Leadersvale and Rockfield Studios in Monmouth. I've how long have I been doing this for now? I've been doing this like 10 years or so, like working as producer, engineer, getting to work on some wicked sessions with some wicked artists. And since lockdown's been done, well, since we've been in lockdown and everything, hope you're all staying safe. I'm kind of waffling, so let's just get on with it. So, is this now? I'm watching. Hi, Rich. This is now, yes. 4 o'clock. What do you want? You want my reply? You are. Wicked. It is now, yes. So, one of the couple of comments I've had this week from a couple of different people, the one that kind of triggered this idea for the video is coming from Steve from Dull Age, and it was about collaborating really online and talking about, well, what can we do, what options are available for people because everyone's kind of spread out a bit. We can't all get together, we can't always practice together. So I was just having a look through a couple of bits and pieces online and a couple of different apps to have a look at to start with. So I thought I'd start with this. Hi, Rich. So I just thought we'd start with this. So it's the simplest way. I'm trying to think how to say this. The thing with obviously online collaboration at the moment, real-time collaboration is a little bit tricky, and it's completely dependent on your streaming connection or your broadband connection. So with live streams, there's usually like a 20-second delay between the actual streams going live and what the person actually sees, and it's the same actually with Zoom as well. There's normally like a couple of seconds delay behind it, so you can't just literally everyone get on a call and start playing together. So it's a bit tricky. Most of the videos that people have seen online I've probably been pre-recorded, so I'm just going to go through a couple of different options that I've seen from that. As I go through, I'll try and put comments in on my John Con producer page, and also be in the YouTube chat, and I think it'll also come through on Periscope as well. So the simplest way of probably like making some videos for live use of different people in different areas is something that like Secret Faces have actually done, and that was playing kind of plays one of the tracks, or like a backing track to a click track, and then like film yourself as well, and then you send it to the other players and they overdub it. So each player plays along, headphones, films it to another device, and then just one person might edit the video clips together and the audio and sync it all up. So this, let's just have a look. YouTube, that's the one. So this is one that like Secret Faces did. I'm just going to check that this is going to come through. Think I'll pack it in my pickup. Give them a like. Take it down to LA. So this is like, when I was talking to Wayne about this, it's basically been like filmed together, and then Wayne's put it together. He's using an app called 4X Video on his iPhone, which kind of got the grid, and then he put the audio together on I think iMovie on his Mac. So that's one of the ways of doing it. With recording this, if you notice, you can't see my mouse, but you've got like one of the guys has got the headphones on as well. So Josh has got his headphones on. So what will happen, one of the ways I'd recommend doing it is if you've got like two phones or one person, like one way of filming it, try and listen to the track that you're playing along to on your headphones so you don't get any spill from recording. So it's like a really simple thing to do, and it's pretty straightforward to kind of put together with, like, there are apps that'll help you, and I'm going to go through a few different other options as well. So that's probably the easiest one. Someone takes the lead, someone starts playing along, and then everyone else builds it up as you go along. And there are a couple of free apps, like as I say, 4X Video was the one Wayne used for this. If anyone's got any suggestions as well, give me a shout, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And the next one is a bit more technical. So if anyone for collaborating online and sending stuff back and forth, We've also got stuff like Splice. Now, Splice is it's like a subscription service for like loops and effects, and like you can buy plugins over a period of time, like extra subscription service. So you can kind of pay for plugins over a few periods of months. And Splice have also got, within the app, you can actually collaborate with certain projects. So if you're working in Logic, GarageBand, I think it's Ableton. I'm just going to check on here now. I think there might be one more as well. Where is it? And Fruity Loops. So if you're using, one of those Logic, Ableton, GarageBand, Fruity Loops, and you want to collaborate with other people, so if other people in the band have Logic or you've all got the same software, you could upload the session, invite that person to collaborate with it, and then you have different versions that you can kind of send back and forth to people. So that's not with video, but it's just another idea of being able to kind of collaborate with different people online. For if any Pro Tools users, Avid have got the cloud subscription service as well. So like Pro Tools, the Pro Tools sessions are PTX, and I think you've got Pro Tools projects which you can upload sessions to the cloud and collaborate online as well. And I know Cubase has got a program called VST Connect, which will let you record 8 tracks within Cubase. Well, it might be a 16 or something, but I think it's there's a way of actually recording, collaborating with VST Connect for Cubase. So that would be the next one. Splice, again, you do need the subscription. You do need to be paying for that to actually have that working. And it might not be for everyone. So the real-time thing isn't quite as good. The next one that I was looking at, the next one I was going to look at then is also Jamkazam. Now, this one's been around for a while, and it's made by the guys who make JamHub. And like this one's idea is basically you're connecting with each other. I think this has been around for a while, but obviously with lockdown happening, it's meant that this has kind of been accelerated a bit, and that I think they've done a crowdfunding campaign recently to raise a bit of money to put this into more development. So the idea is that there's an app that you connect to, and you need like a sound card or something to connect to your laptop. So like Focusrite Solo or like iRig might work. That'll connect to your laptop, and then you basically stream your service stream your instruments online, and be able to actually jam with other members of your band. I haven't tested this. Initially, the feedback that I was seeing online is that there was a bit of a slightly too much of a delay, but I would recommend having a look at it, because I think Jamkazam are looking at updating this so that you can stream online, and they're trying to get the support so they can actually stream live to YouTube as well. So it'd be something that if you are looking at doing stuff like that, so if you are looking at performing live together, have a trial of this first before you go on YouTube. It's free to sign up and have a go. So at this moment in time, I mean, if you've got time, you're not working, you're furloughed, give it a shout and see what happens. So that's like one to have a look at now. The next one that is it's a bit simpler, and this is by Tract. So Tract is and Spacey is like an iOS app or an Android app. The free version I think gives you 4 channels. I think there's a small paid upgrade for 8 channels, and the idea is just that you can record, say like 4 tracks or something. You can record ideas down. So this is more like a songwriting collaboration idea. You could record four bits and pieces off your phone, send them to one of the other bandmates, and you can kind of send projects back and forth as well. Again, it's a pretty decent team involved with it. Let's just go back to the app. Cool. So it is just literally free to download. Free to download, a couple of ideas that you can record on, and then you can kind of send stuff back and forth. And there's profiles, a bit like social media. You can share this on other tracks as well. And the other thing as well, you can leave comments as well for like friends or people you're working with. So it doesn't have to obviously just be with your band, but it could be with other people that you're working with online. Right. Next one is another app by a company called Mixchord, and this is called Acapella. So this is, from what I've seen, this looks more like something from like, it reminds me it's almost like TikTok for musicians, where you can kind of stack and layer takes of your vocals, your singing. You could get like quite a few different people on, and the idea is that you kind of basically hold the camera, film, and sing and play over the top of it. You could send it to friends and collaborate that way as well. And I think with Acapella, it should be pretty good to kind of put everything together. So I'd recommend having a look at all of these and seeing how you get on. with all that. I'm just going to quickly, just want to check a couple of bits. Let me know what you guys think. I think acapella is going to be a really, really interesting one. The other thing as well is there's also another app that they have called Mixcam, which actually lets you kind of use both cameras on your phone at the same time. So you could look at using it for interviews and stuff. So that's also something like, obviously it has to be in person, but it's a good idea or something like be something to look into for other bits and pieces. And I think they've also got for editing on your phone as well. Pick, play, post. So it's like a bit of editing. So I know I covered Jody last week and about updating his YouTube channel. If you were looking at filming stuff, you haven't got, I know a lot of people these days haven't got laptops, haven't got computers. Phones and iPads are really, really powerful these days, and they should be able to actually edit, and you should be able to do everything you need to for social media on these posts. Okay, and the next thing, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was just going to switch over. Facebook. Okay, the other thing is on my Facebook page, and I probably posted it on my Facebook page and also my personal profile. There's obviously HMRC, the self-employment loans are out, currently going through. I've done mine today, had set up another government ID. I'm not sure why, but hopefully that's coming through in the next couple of days. If you haven't done so, there's a link on my profile. Please have a look and see what see if you should be able, if you're eligible to apply, you'll be able to actually run through that now. If you're not able to apply today, they'll give you a date when it's available, and that's running till the 18th of May. And everything at this moment in time, anything helps really as much as possible. So again, have a look. Let me know what you think. The other thing that was quite interesting this week as well was, obviously I covered Jody last week. And one of the things that actually happened, let's go back to silent screen. One of the other things that actually happened is the castle started sharing Joe's videos as well. So it was actually really cool to see, obviously getting a bit more traction and everything on there as well. Right, what we got here? Okay, cool. New. Right, so we got comes from Richards. I'm going for a walk, but just be the animal. In the current situation, could a band record in the studio, layer in drums separately? It's a tricky one because obviously at the moment with layering stuff in the studio, in theory it could work where obviously they could go in set up the instruments but it'd have to be, it's quite tricky to kind of do, and also remain isolating from the person. So it'd almost have to be that you'd have them the day before or something, and then go through, and then literally like the engineer would be able to go back in after the drummer left, set up all the mics they need, and the drummer could come back in. So it's going to be complicated to do that. Obviously, in Wales, the lockdown situation is that we're not open at the moment. We're not able to get into the studio. The whole building's actually locked down. In theory, it could be, but I'd have to look into it more and find out. Yeah, so I'll find out, Rich, and I'll get in touch. I'll give you a shout about that. The other thing, what's the next thing that I was going to do? Oh, yeah. So next thing then was, let's just get that up. Spin and collaboration tools. The next thing I wanted to talk about then was also, I'm on the wrong view. Cool. Basically just looking at a couple of things that you can do for your band and looking at apps that you can use to help kind of save you a bit of time here and there, and also look at making you a little bit more efficient. So these are things that I'm using quite a lot on a regular basis, and they're all something that you can actually do on your phone, or most of them. They're actually got things that you can do. So the first one that I generally, I swear by, has actually changed a lot of the, help me if I'm onto the right screen. Right. So the first one I actually really, really like is an app called Snapspeed. It's developed by Google, and it is a photo editing app which you can have on your phone. And so if you just literally want to have something for Instagram or for like your usual posters or like for social media, I tend to use this quite a lot now. So basically, like if you're looking on App Store or Google Play Store, it's literally all one word, Snapspeed, and it just lets you kind of, you can save presets. It gives you a bit more control on the filters and the images that you can use. So what I'm using at the moment is I'm using, a lot of my photos have probably come from this camera, which is I use for filming most of my YouTube content if it's not live. And what I'm doing is I'm normally like transfer that over Wi-Fi onto my phone, and I'll edit the picture in Snapspeed, just do a couple of color changes. And you can also save presets on this, so then literally you can just load a preset. And I've got that on my Instagram quite a lot as well. Where's my socials gone? What are you? No. You can go, actually. Yeah. Socials. That's weird. What have I got in here then? Anyway, continue off. So yeah, Snapseed's brilliant. And say I mentioned Canva last week as well. So what I'm tending to do is I'll edit the photo on Snapseed, and then when I'm using Canva, I'll normally upload it into my templates in Canva. And I use that for like my thumbnails on Facebook, like the YouTube banners, Facebook cover pages, or any graphics as well. So those two together are really, really, really good. I'd recommend having a look at that. Honestly, it'll change your life. The next one then, get there, canva.com, which is obviously for that. I already mentioned that. Right, the next one is for automation. So ifttt.com is basically it stands for if this then that. So how I use it is if I post a photo on Instagram, the app from ifttt will copy the image and the caption from Instagram, and then it will automatically update my Twitter account with the image as well. So I don't have to share a link through Instagram. It'll literally natively post it. So it's a couple of things. I know if you're doing this all like automatically, if you're posting something on Facebook and you want to automatically update that to Instagram, you can do that. The other thing that I've done as well is that if I post a blog post on my website, IFTT will actually update that to my Facebook profile page and also my producer page as well. So it's something that it can save you a little bit of time rather than having to go press share, press link, copy this. It'll do it all automatically. You can link up quite a lot of different like apps with it as well. So it's not limited to just social media. I remember I had the Philips Hue, and that's really useful for that's basically like a color lighting system, and I had it every time Cardiff City scored, the lights would change color. So IFTTT will let you just automatically share stuff. So anytime I post a YouTube video as well, that'll also go into my Twitter account saying I got a video, please have a look, let me know what you think. And it's simple, it's only like one step processes, but for bands, just to kind of save you a bit of time, have a look at it and just see what you can do. You're going to need to authorize the app to obviously work on your behalf for certain bits and pieces, but there's loads of pre-made recipes already. What I mean by recipes is ideas that you can use. And yeah, the next one, where have I gone? Cool. IFTTT. Dropbox. This one is mainly for. I'm using Dropbox a lot more. I stopped using it for a while, and I was sending stuff over WeTransfer. I've got Dropbox mainly for storage and also accepting files from bands. So if anyone's got songs they want to send me, I'll normally send a link. And I'll send that over saying just like, yeah, that's fine. Just send me your tracks, upload them onto this link, and it automatically goes into a designated folder on my drive. And also because I work in the studio with Nick, we've got a shared folder. So if I need to send him anything into a different location, I just upload it onto that folder. And in theory, it should automatically download onto Nick's computer straight away. So that's why I really like it. I don't have to, it basically eliminates another step. When I'm sending mixes to bands, I'll normally upload it to the Dropbox folder and I'll send it via transfer, so they just have to download it. I stopped using it originally with Dropbox because they didn't have the transfer option. So I had to share files with a lot of people, and you had to share the entire folder. And what would tend to happen is, if you've got people who aren't computer savvy, you might lose bits and pieces, or people might start uploading loads and loads of other files into it. And on the free account, you've only got a limited amount of storage. And that could actually cause problems. So that's one of the reasons why I stopped using it, because it was almost too well, not so much too well designed, but it was almost too advanced for simpler users. Whereas if you can restrict people and say, look, here's your download, that's how you can download it, it's brilliant. Now, where that would be useful for bands is for press packs, information, any like photos or anything that you've got. So if you're like contacting promoters ready for next year now, really, if you're contacting them, you could upload everything into like a file onto Dropbox. So it could be like a zip file or a PDF with everything that you need, links to your music, high quality images, text biographies and briefs. That could all be there in one link. You send a one link and it saves you a lot of time. And also alternatives will probably be something like Google Drive or Box.com. All of them offer a free trial, so it's worth having something so that when you get to the point of preparing your band or as yourself as an artist, you've got everything that you need in the right place at literally a link away that you can copy and paste and send on to someone. So Dropbox is really, really useful. WeTransfer is also really useful for sending stuff where the limits on your email attachment sizes come into play. So that's one of the things that I really like using it for. The next one, I think, is streaming. Yeah. So streaming. I'm currently using OBS. And that is open broadcast software. It's a free download and it's where all the fancy images and stuff come from. I've got a PDF guide on my website which you can download from, and I'm using OBS for my the template and what I'm streaming from. My iPhone is actually acting as my webcam, and I'm using the app called EpoCam HD. I'll put a link for that. I think there's actually a link in the descriptions already. So that'll let me. Again, it just lets me use my iPhone as a camera, and it sort of sets it all up, and it's pretty straightforward and easy to use. Now, with my setup, I'm currently using my Mac Pro, which has got my Mac Pro's got 24 threads, or it's a 12-core system, and I got a really, really decent video card, so I can actually run a lot of stuff on here and not have a problem. One of the comments from last week was they were getting issues with regards to laptops that are maybe 5-6 years old, and sometimes the issue was coming from being a dual core laptop and having a video card that might be quite old, so the computer was kind of on its last legs and wasn't actually kind of producing what they needed to on the test streams. So you do need a decent system for streaming. If your laptop or your computer system is struggling a little bit just with the audio files, there's a very strong chance that when you add video into that as well, it can cause problems. So it's just worth having a look. Most of the new computers now, I imagine, will be pretty good. But again, it's a case of trial and error and seeing what works for you and what doesn't. Restream. I'll just talk about Restream really quickly. Restream lets me send the same video to Facebook, to YouTube. I've also got it to Periscope. You can set it up as well to tons and tons of other platforms. I think LinkedIn as well, but you've got to apply to LinkedIn. So what I'm doing at the moment is at the start of the video, I'm usually copying the links from YouTube over to LinkedIn. So that's what I'm using. It's really, really, once you've got a template set up, it's a case of more or less, I have everything kind of set up on my laptop, on the computer, and the template from the previous week will normally work. I just kind of adjust the camera, adjust a couple of bits and pieces of slides that I'm using, and that works really, really well. The other thing that I found as well is with streaming, because I'm also looking at streaming to Instagram. And streaming to Instagram, it's a bit different because you need to have, so it's kind of almost portrait rather than landscape. So I'm not currently doing that at the moment, but I have found that if you did want to do stuff or stream content through to Instagram off your computer or off your laptop, there's a company called Yellow Duck. You'll need to log in with your username and password, and it'll give you a stream key which is active for 15 minutes. So you basically just copy that information into OBS, and then that'll automatically let you then go live to Instagram. For me to do that, I'd have to use another laptop or something. So I've got my laptop, I could set that up and have OBS on another system coming from a different angle. The reason why I haven't done that is because of the fact that you can't see comments. So it'd probably be easier if I was going to do Instagram, I'd need to have my phone back and I'd have that literally next to the other one, and I could actually see the comments as we're going through. So that's one of the reasons why I haven't done it, but I'm going to have a couple of trials with that. But it does work. I have tested it, and you basically need to add authentication on your OBS settings for the custom link. So that's what you need to do for that. So the other thing that I'd ask, just really, really briefly or really quickly, if you're liking the videos, let me know what you think. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're on my Facebook profile, please like the Facebook page and give me a shout or any comments or questions that you guys might have. That's more or less me in terms of stuff I had prepared. I know I went way too long last time. Actually, what was it, an hour? It's far too much. I only thought I was going to go for half an hour. So what I want to just do is just have a quick look at the chat stuff. So Rich was asking, have I tried for Helix Native? No issues. It just works as a plugin. So Helix Native is by Line 6. I was lucky to get the full version of it. They've got some really, really good presets for Ampeg. They've got quite a lot of I was really surprised at the Ampeg models and everything, but it works fine. It works really, really well as a plugin in any DAW. So like Pro Tools, Logic, just comes up natively. Sounds really, really good. It's really, really useful. And obviously then the Helix system is kind of like Line 6's answer to Kemper profilers. I've used one of the bands that I worked with to set came in with the full Helix floorboard stomp box, like floor pedal, big massive one. And honestly, like we took an XLR out of that with the Ampeg settings. It's like, sounds brilliant, sounds perfect. Didn't actually have to do that much, and it just saves you tons and tons of time. And I think before Dave from the band got the Helix, he was using quite a few other pedals to try and recreate the sound. And then the difference between the first session and the second session was more or less night and day. So really, really couldn't complain. I also know that from last week, Dustin asked about issues with old laptops and possible corrupted sessions. I know that I got Dustin to send me a link. I actually asked Dustin to upload me a track over my Dropbox, and what I found was it was actually fine. It was just literally, again, it just comes down to your like old laptops and my laptop as well. It's a dual core system from 2015. I didn't buy it for music production, and it's the same. When the tracks in Logic were frozen, it worked absolutely fine. As soon as I unfroze the tracks, then on the laptop, the dual core system, it didn't really work quite as well. So opened up on the Mac Pro with like obviously really decent system settings, and it worked fine. So again, I think newer systems, I think all the sessions that you had there'd be no reason why they won't work. If you guys have any other questions, give me a shout. I'll leave it open for another couple of seconds. The other thing that actually, I think it was 2 days ago really, the other thing that actually got announced 2 days ago was Logic have updated to Logic 10.5, and with this it's actually like a massive update with like tons and tons of new features. Obviously with tons and tons of new features means Logic and Apple change all the shortcuts from time to time, so certain things don't always quite work as well. So the first notification that I got was that the brain fart, one of the first notifications that I got, oh yeah, Dustin's got his new, having a dust, setting up his new machine right now, wicked. The other thing that I've got with the first thing that happened when I opened up the new version of Logic, it said, do you want to update your key shortcuts? I just said yes, because I do teach in Logic from time to time, and there is a tendency, like something that you do in an old version of Logic, the new shortcuts don't work, so you give out some information and go like, let's do this, go for that, and and then they go, yeah, but the shortcuts are wrong. So it's like, you've got to check with that. I've got that up as well. I'm just going to quickly switch over to that. Hey, favour. Right, so this, just want to check. We've got to check really quickly. Yep, that's working fine. Okay, so this is the new version of Logic, and so this is what, obviously, this is like classic version of what we got. The other thing that happens is we've got this show hide live loops grid, and I need to bring Restream over, actually. Let's bring him over a second. Over. Come on. This track. Come on. I'll leave you there. Fine. Cool. So the thing, obviously, with this, this grid view now, this was in GarageBand on the iOS system. So it's very, very similar to Ableton Live. So basically you can set up loops in here. Right, I just want to check this is all. There we go. So literally you can just kind of go through, make up ideas. It's yeah, it's a bit, it's great for kind of you getting ideas, and you don't have to kind of work about structures. One of the things that happens is in the timeline view, which is this section here, in classic view of Logic, when you press enter, it normally goes back to the start. One of the things that I've noticed is when you have this grid view up, enter doesn't always work as you want. So there's like something similar to Pro Tools in terms of they have focus windows. So we have this blue bar around the section, which is actually quite important because it means I think that like the shortcuts might vary from one view to or focus from one section to the other. So we have yeah, the timeline view, and then we've got the loops view. And if you want to record your loops or performances in, there's this button here as well, which says enable performance recording. So you press that, and then I think you literally, make sure I haven't got count off or anything on, you can press record. And then if I just press play. If you notice, bring that down a little bit. And if you notice, we've got these grey squares here, which actually kind of relates to, let's bring in some more loops, what's actually being played on this section. So you can see here. And then we've got at the bottom, if I click on here, this will actually change to all of it. So one of the settings that I've got is we've got quantized start, so we can actually change this so that it would start at different points. So we could do like 2 bars, we would change where the loop starts, so we'll wait 2 bars before it comes in. That's 1 bar. And then if you notice, as I click through and press play, it'll automatically change it in time. So obviously then that means it makes you look more of a genius. And obviously I'm a genius, I just make some banging beats on YouTube. And now what's happened now here is I pressed play, but I didn't do the record, so you still need to press record to bring that in. So now I've got the next thing that I found when I was doing this is like I've now got this section, or this section, I'm pointing at stuff that you can't even see. I've got this section here, which is obviously lit up, and I was trying to figure out how do I now play what's on the timeline. And this is bugging me for ages. So if we look here, yeah, there it is. Okay, this will actually let you switch between it. So when this is on, this will actually toggle between the focus of this bar from left to right. I don't know what they've called it. I haven't looked at the manual, but this means now I've got my settings. And let's have a quick look at it. Yeah. So yeah, text tools change again, I think. So this is all the rest of the shortcuts look all right. But yeah, so that's one of the other thing that happens. And then say like, what you can do is you can actually shift the focus for each track from left to right as well. So when they grey out, it means that the focus is coming over to here, onto the loops page. And if I switch back, it'll come back into coloured as well. So then if I wanted to record something, I'll only be recording the one track. Put that one in. So you can actually record loops as well on that. So that's one of the other things. The other thing I was actually a little bit gutted about, well, not so much really gutted about, but on the previous version of Logic, the demo sessions from Jeff Beck, it was actually really good. And the other demo now is Billie Eilish. So if you want to see how they do it, there is like a vocal stack and like a couple of comps. We've got a couple of folder tracks with vocals in. And yeah, so that's all that. So I'm just gonna switch back. Cool. All right, just gonna open it up again just for a couple of questions. If not, is there anything that you guys want me to look at or ask about? If not, I'll wrap it up there. Let's go, leave it now for about, I don't know, 20 seconds or so. Just gonna quickly check stuff while that's happening. What's going on with this page? Give me a shout, normal phone. Can't do that. No, wait. Let's go back to this page. Right. And yeah. All right. Cool. So what I'll do now is that's pretty much in the comments on my YouTube page. I'll put timings for the video for this. And I'll also leave a load of links into the my comments as well. So what that'll mean, or question library, sound library. Do new sounds I'm downloading have to be installed on the Mac hard drive? No, I don't think so. So the sound library, I think not this version of Logic. I think the previous version, 10.4, 10.3, you could actually set where the sound library was downloaded to, so it could be put somewhere else, like an external drive. I think that was from feedback about. That was from feedback from users, because obviously, like, some of the downloads are gigabytes and gigabytes. So I think you can move that onto like a separate drive. So I'd probably recommend doing that. I think you just have to have like a set folder. Let's have a quick look. Actually, I'm pretty sure you can set that. Let's bring back up my door view. DW view is a quick look. Preferences. What is it going to be? Advanced all information. Yeah, I think that there is somewhere where you can put it. I'll have to double check and find out for you though. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can do the samples and stuff elsewhere. Let's go back to chat. There's chat. There you are. Stream chat. Cool. Yeah, space point of view. I think you definitely can. But otherwise, yeah, as I said, I'm going to leave a load of links about the collaboration for the collaboration tools that I've recommended having a look at. And that will be in my comments on my page and also on YouTube. And I say, like, if you're going to watch this back, the YouTube channel is probably the best one because you can actually speed it up as well. But again, thanks very much for watching. If you've got any questions, drop me a message on either my website, which is johnconstantine.co.uk, which is JON, no H, because it's short for Jonathan. Awkward silence. And there's a chat message there as well. Give me a shout. I'll do my best to answer you, or as I say, like, I can drop a message or sort something else out as well. But again, please subscribe. If you think this might be useful for anyone, please share it as well. And even though this video is finished, let me know what you guys thought. If there's anything that you'd like me to look at in the future, please do let me know. And I will see you all again very, very soon.